Good morning, everybody. I'm working in the small garden today. I planted okra seeds several weeks ago, and none of them came up. So I went back to elementary school and put some seeds in a cup and placed in the windowsill. I was like, man, are my seeds any good? Because I planted okra under the grow light. They didn't sprout. I planted them out in the garden and they didn't sprout. So I went ahead and planted, just put them in the like I said, the elementary school. You put the tissue paper in a cup, put some water in it, drop the seeds in it, see if they'll sprout. And they did. So now I'm going to take those seeds that are sprouting and I'm going to transplant them to some small cups. Well, separate them so the roots won't get all intertwined and entangled with each other. Here is what it looks like. I put them in there, I think it was Friday afternoon, and here it is Tuesday morning. That's what we have. There's still no, I think they're all sprouting, but some are more advanced or more ahead than others. So I'm going to transplant these or put these in some cups with dirt, let them get a little bit bigger so that we can put them in the garden. Not sure why the okras didn't take. Well, maybe I planted them too early. Earlier in the year, I put them on the grow light, but it might have been still too cold for them. And maybe even when I put them in the garden, the ground might have still been a little too cold. So what I've got to do here is try to take each one out without tearing them up. Let me see what I get. There's the first one. There's two of them. I'll just rest them there before the roots get too deep. And there's a good looking one there. I really want to get that one. Don't want to destroy that root system. I think I might have just busted that one. But let's see if I can get the rest of them out without tearing them up. This might be the best way to do it here. Just take that tissue out and see how best I can get this done. So I wanted to do this before the root systems get all entangled with each other. There we go. There is another one. Real gentle and delicate. There is another one. Gentle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. I'll try to plant this one, but I tore the seed pod off, so I don't know whether that's going to be a problem. But there are 6 of them. That one doesn't seem as if it is catching all that good. So now I'm going to take them and put them in these cups right here. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little hole, not too deep, right there. But I guess a little deeper for the root system to go down in it. Rest that down in there. Cover that root up. Just leaving that bud on top. Same thing here. So I'll do that to all of these. Just get that root system down in there. And once I get all of them done, we just put water on top of them. So I've got all 6 of them in there. So now we're going to come behind and just give them some water. Then I'll just let them all sit outside. And I'll put them keep them in this tray to where every morning I can just come and make sure that the soil in here stays moist. Give them the best chance of survival. That's the plan. So sometimes it don't always work as we want it to. I wanted to just plant those seeds in the garden and just let them grow right in the garden. They've done that in the years past. Not sure what's going on this year. But since they weren't growing on their own, I decided to go back this route. You know, this is something that every elementary school kid does or has done, where they put the seeds in a cup. Like I said, put the tissue paper in a cup, put the seeds in it, put a little bit of water and put it in the windowsill. And after a few days, they'll get the growth. But God, they separated really fast to avoid the entanglement of the roots. But that's what we're looking at, guys. We'll get these put in the out on the patio on the sidewalk and just let Mother Nature run its course. So this is the peach tree. I had to bring both the peach and the nectarine closer to the house because we've been getting some very strong winds, and every evening this peach tree was knocked over where you can see that it's tilting. So when I get this in the ground, I'm gonna have to adjust that. The nectarine tree is doing really well also. They've grown above the top of the house and they're looking really good. This peach tree has some little peaches on it. I really don't expect them to make it. I expect for them to fall off because this tree is a little young, but who knows? We'll see what happens. But let's go look at the garden real fast. I have not taken care of it the way I should, but we'll get a jump on it and get things fixed the way it should be going. So this is a small garden. We'll start off first with the grape plant. The grape plant was coming up pretty good. Again, the wind got to it. I tied it off, but the wind got to it and snapped it. So it got snapped right in there, but it's still, the bottom is still coming up. So once that gets taller again, I'll go ahead and tie that back to this stake. When we come over here, I just planted a couple of cabbage just to see what would happen. So those two, there's cabbage. I'll probably plant some more. Down over here we have the cucumbers. Now these, the cabbage and these cucumbers, these were what I started under the grow light, and they're coming up pretty good. Then we get over here, these are some bell peppers. They're coming up, but then they're really slow. These are some jalapenos. These two jalapenos I bought from Walmart, and I just put these in this morning and I went ahead and watered them. But again, we'll see how they do with the wind. Then we come over here, there is the squash. These are the squash that started under the grow light. So they have been out here for a few weeks, just waiting on them to get themselves up and running. These are some cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, I got these from Walmart just because I planted some cherry tomatoes and I had some June bugs that were coming in. The craziest thing, they were getting in under the grow light and they were getting into the seed and they into the soil and they were eating the seeds. I'll show you what that looks like. And these are my beef tomatoes that were under the grow light. They're coming in really good. There's 4 of those. And over here is where I planted the okra and just weeds came up, no okra. But I'll be weeding this all up and getting that ready to put new okra, the okras that are in the cup. And over here's the onions. I've tried to keep it weed. All the big guys I've knocked down, but all the little stuff I need to come and just give this part of the garden a little bit more attention. But this is what the big garden looks like. The okras are coming up looking good. We've got some bulbs coming in, so I'm happy to see that. Just need them to get more size to it. So right down in here, you'll see some bulbs. You'll see the little bulbs growing, but need them to get more size. What I have not done any fertilizing. So that's one thing. I'll probably come back through here with some Miracle Grow, sprinkle some Miracle Grow on top of everybody and water it in. But let me show you what I was talking about those June bugs. So this is what I'm talking about, where I planted here under the grow lights. I planted the tomatoes and some okras, and these June bugs came in and they just dug out all the seeds. I've never seen this before. But then again, I have not had this bad of a problem with June bugs. You know, in the evenings I'll have the door open and all these June bugs come in. So these June bugs, they're just about everywhere. You know, I call these June bugs. I don't know what everybody else call them, but they're everywhere. And it's just unbelievable how many of them that are around this year. But they came in and dug into my seed base here, and I'm thinking they ate the seeds. I don't know what they did, whether they were just trying to lay their own eggs, but they pretty much dug out just about all of them. And I saw it earlier, but I wasn't sure. I was thinking, maybe something, but then when I planted again, it happened again. So that's what is going on there. It's crazy. See, that's what's going on with the garden, the small garden. Even the big garden, I've got to get on top of that. I've been a bit neglectful. It's just been busy. There's like 1,000,001 things always to do. So I haven't been on top of everything the way I should. But now that the weather has warmed up, that'll be a whole lot more better for the growing of the plants. But the next thing we have is it's been unbelievably windy. You know, it's been so windy that it's I'll see what happens with the garden with the wind and how it's blowing things around. But we'll get it done. We'll get her all planted, watered, and as we always say, it's the man above that brings the increase. So you have yourself a wonderful day. That's what we're working on right now. And you be good. Take care of yourself and be safe.